No problem.
Okay, good night and welcome to another Light Body Healers. This is where we go from Mavericks to Masters and everything in between. So I am having an incredible talk today, conversation with Maxine Harry. And she has established a beautiful therapeutic school called the Caribbean School of Holistic Therapy. And we are going to have a conversation about those therapies, about those students, and how she got here. Hey, Maxine.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Chantel, thank you for inviting me. Good.
No
It's
problem, no
great.
problem. Looking forward to this very, very much. So tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about your history, your journey, and how you got to where you are.
Whoa. Okay. Well, originally, when I lived in the UK, I've been here 32 years. So I've lived here longer now than I have anywhere else in the world. So it's been an interesting journey, starting in the UK. Basically, my interest was in foraging foods. So I'd always be like in the fields, as it were, bluebell woods, picking up mushrooms. I was really into drawing in detail, and that was the inspiration. So I was fortunate as a child to live in open pasture areas, and that's really where it started. And then my interest, obviously, with foraging, I decided to do a herbal course. So that's way back in, oh gosh, now let me think, being a dinosaur in this world. In 1992 is when I first qualified in holistic massage. So it'd be around 1990, 1991 when I did a herbal course. So that was in London. So that was my first journey, which I loved. And from there, I actually moved from the north of England into the city, because there I was doing my master's degree. After I'd done my bachelor's degree, I went to my master's degree in a totally different realm of textile design. So I kind of switched part way, but interestingly enough, things are evolving back into the textile realm because of the frequencies of natural fibers, which is a great interest for me. Obviously, working with frequencies in body therapeutics and what have you. So, yeah, my journey was quite different. And I was in the fashion world. And at the same time, I decided, okay, I'm in London. Let me study holistic massage. So, bam, full-time career, but I went into a full-time course as well, juggle, as we do. And I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was amazing. I mean, then it was really old school. So everything was more labored. None of these multiple choice questions that all the students get today. It was
Yeah.
all about long essays and lots of drawings. And I'm sure the drawing aspect is what made me get through much easier because that was my forte. So to draw the anatomy, like the skin and a full skeleton of all the bones and the muscles, that was easy, to be honest,
Right,
So
right.
that journey was interesting. And because I was already working, um, I had lots of volunteers, so in that industry, I was kind of juggling again with two careers at the same time. But when I came to live in Barbados, eventually I set up a small clinic, and that was in Halltown in St. James. Then it was the days of Supercenter, and upstairs inside a health food shop, Body Restoration. And I loved the space, and I had some amazing clients that I still have today. And it was great because I could actually access, like your shop, we have access to all the products and medicines and natural therapies that we need or they need at our fingertips. So that to me was a plus. And from there, as you go, you continue with professional development. And so it was like constantly doing different courses and adding on the skill set. So I then got involved with an association here after I was involved with UK ones and decided we need to bring some standards to Barbados. And there was a group of us, a very small group, that worked extremely hard, and we still do, struggling along, trying to set these standards with the Ministry of Health and to benchmark the quality of skill sets and treatments that are delivered to the public for health and safety reasons more than anything, you know, and trying to be on par on the international realm, really, because of the amount of visitors we have besides local clientele, you know.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. So how long ago did the school start?
well, I think we started our school, which is the Caribbean School of Holistic Therapies. That's Barbara Daniel and myself. We're co-directors and we're both teachers at the school, and we've just taken someone else on. But we started in 2014. I think that's exactly, around there, 2014.
Right. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so we've been going 10 years.
Yes, yeah. So tell me,
Time flies.
what tell me about the school some more now. Tell me what y'all are offering, what therapies.
Right. Well, we're a registered school, so with BAC here, so a
Yeah.
tertiary, body as a school. And so we have certain disciplines and criteria to meet with BAC here, which is really good.
Yeah.
And we get their support, just as guidance. We're also an international school. So we are accredited with CIBTAC in the UK, with ThinkTree in the UK. And so any student or potential people that are interested, it is an international qualification. So diploma level 3. And we offer massage, a 9 months program, which is roughly a year. When you add everything up, it's literally like a normal school year. And then we do one that's 50% online, so they can do the anatomy and physiology online and their assignments. And then they do the other 50% face-to-face, hands-on. Yeah.
Right.
So we offer that in massage, reflexology, sports massage, reflexology, and then we have an array of really interesting workshops that we offer.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about these workshops.
Right. Well, the workshops could be anything that would have interest to maybe the novice, someone who's not so au fait or never massaged before, who show a little interest, So you get, for example, we do Indian head massage, which is such an amazing treatment that you
Yes,
can do sat in a normal chair. So no one needs to rush and go and buy all the fancy on-site chairs or anything. You can use, as long as it's a sturdy, firm chair, you can use that at home. So, we try to do that. I mean, it's a tradition from India, and it was something that they did for the community, for the household, where they could just, help each other restore their hair, for example. It's a nice neck, shoulder relaxation technique. So we've had people who are actually hairdressers, barbers, just general people who are interested that they can do something for their own family, which is wonderful, really, when you think about it, because, we show them with the practical, but we also do the theory and the benefits of it. And then obviously health and safety. So we do go into contraindications when not to treat someone, which is really important because we don't want anyone to go out there in the public and do anything that's detrimental to their health, So that's our beeline, is making sure that we cover those areas first, yeah.
Okay. So have you been able to integrate anything Caribbean into this process, into your therapies, into the oils, into techniques? Is there anything that Caribbean flows through there other than where it's being done?
Right. Well, I mean, I can use Ayurvedic medicine, which is an ancient technique from India. I actually went to India and I did train in the Panchakarma and to do the beauty work out there, which was interesting because they use a lot of indigenous and natural products, obviously from India. So when I came to Barbados, I was like, ouch, I've got to find an equivalent to these products that they're using, which
Right.
with the help of some other herbal friends out there who study it, we were able to identify something that was very similar or the same, but had a different name. So we did workshops, what we call bolus making. It's like a herbal ball in a
Yeah.
muslin cloth. And so
Right.
we'll use a mixture of herbs, which are wonderful workshops, I've got to say. Everyone thoroughly enjoys it. It's hands-on and everyone plays their part. So that I love that when people are drying the herbs, chopping them up, they're grinding on coffee machines and all kinds of things,
Yeah.
whatever's necessary. And then we actually make the bolus because it has a lovely little technique. It's quite a neat little ball. And then, you know, you can dip them in milk or you can dip them in, you know, just pure herbal waters. You know, you can actually fry the ingredients in coconut oils, you know, just to soak them in with like lemons and things like that, local things that you can use. And
Right.
then they have lots of health benefits. And then we actually show them how to use them on the body.
Right.
So it's lots of fun. I love doing those workshops. They're so good. Other things that we do blended oils. So
Yeah.
you can actually do tinctures and things using natural herbs,
Right.
whether they're dried or they're fresh. So there's lots of things that we can do, you know,
Right. So
using
you're using the local
indigenous.
herbs to do these things.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, for me, that's the best thing about it because so somewhere along the line we've lost a lot of granny's little herbal remedies that have passed down from generation to generation, and that was
Yeah.
always my interest in the UK. Hence the foraging in the forest, and now
Yes.
I'm in the jungles and the you know the hills and what have you, looking for other things that I can use that will be beneficial. And there's quite a lot of people here who are very interested, and it's lovely to collaborate with them as well, even down to soap making and things like that, you know. So I think now there's a surge of people actually seeing the benefits and how the world is going, that we can really survive from nature and don't need to go the commercial aspect or that journey. You know, we can do it alternatively or complementary wherever we can and revive this knowledge and wisdom that people have, you know.
Yes, this is one of the reasons for doing this show, so that we can get more people to know about people like you, so that those voices are being heard on a regular basis. Because more people need to know that there are a lot of natural remedies, teachers, healers out there. So my next question is about the community.
Yeah.
Get the community involved. How do you play that part so that there is community involvement in what you're doing?
Right. Well, I think I mean with the school, what we do is the students have to do what we call case studies. So they have to choose for their assignments a group of people. So they could be family members or people from the community. So this is where Barbara comes in. Her speciality is bringing people in who she knows would benefit from the treatment. So we collectively bring these people together to get a free treatment, which helps the students because we get really good feedback. We get some interesting case studies with people's health, and some people who obviously find it difficult to afford, say, a regular treatment, you know, and they can come into a nice environment and it works both ways. So they benefit and the students benefit, and overall the school benefits, because it's like a ripple effect. You know, if we get the community involved, it strengthens the message of using complementary or alternative medicine as a pathway for health, rather than just running to a doctor, no disrespect, but, you know, there's things that they can do for themselves at home or come for a treatment where, you know, it might be something very slight and they don't realize their body's just slightly out of balance. So, you know, things like reflexology and massage and aromatherapy and the other workshops that we offer can actually adjust the equilibrium of the body and bring that homeostasis, you know. So that's where the community comes in, where we can actually get local people more involved, you know, and have the chance to experience what we call these modalities, these techniques, you know. And I think that's the beauty of it, yeah, because it's like an in-house training session, but the outcomes are superb, to be honest. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Sounds like it. It sounds amazing. So tell
Yeah.
me about students' experiences. What's their feedback like over these years? I mean, it's almost 10 years now. It is 10 years. So what
Yeah, 10 years this year.
experience have the students been telling you?
Wow, well, I think we've done really well as a school in the sense of a lot of our graduates have ended up with good careers. You know, they've got into some of the top spas. You know, we're very limited because there's a small island,
Right.
you know, but they've gone into places like Sandy Lane Hotel. So, I mean, all the big hotels basically. Then we've got those that are mobile, do their work on their own, some that are linked to clinics
Yeah.
or to their local doctors. Some go into like the beauty aspect. So they're more in you know, a spa environment. Others are more in a clinic that's a bit more medical. So it just
Right.
depends. Sports massage, obviously, they go into that arena.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, really good feedback because first of all, they didn't have to travel. They could still continue to work. We did a payment plan. You know, we still offer that, a payment plan. So it makes it more manageable over the period of time that they're with us. And like I say, there's some, especially women who have had children and got their children around them who would like to start back with a career, or for those who wish to change their career. You'd be quite surprised. We've had lawyers and all kinds of people who come who just say, I want to do something different. And I think what's really interesting is since the COVID situation now, you know, we've had a lot of people who missed the hands-on and felt totally disconnected. And
Right.
I was very surprised the amount of interest of people during COVID was like, just want to do your courses, just want
Right.
to feel like doing something
Right.
hands-on with people. You know,
Right.
even though we're using this technology all the time, which can benefit in a lot of ways, but then sometimes it does disconnect us from being human, as it were. Um,
The
so
touch.
yeah, the touch, the power of touch is so important. So, you know, I think for the school, actually, that was a big plus for us to get that feedback, you know. And like, you know, there are some people who've come in from overseas to do the courses, you know, other Caribbean islands that don't have the schools that are accredited, for example, and they wanted to make a serious career.
Yeah.
And, you know, places like Jamaica and what have you, where, you know, they've got lots of hotels. Like we've actually gone to Anguilla and done courses there because they have a big tourist industry, but they didn't really have the qualified practitioners there. So they did reach out and we've been across there and done that. Now we have the other islands asking the same thing, which is great, you know. Now we've got places like Jamaica, which will be a direct flight this month. So that
Yeah.
makes life a bit easier, although it bumps up the price because students were happy that they didn't have to travel. Our courses are so much more affordable, you know, and we're very flexible. We have smaller groups, so we can actually juggle with the students if they're working. You know, we work it out amongst ourselves so that nobody misses out, that they all can attend the classes. So, you know, it might be like some days we do weekends, some it's evenings, some can be Zoom. We try not to. We try to do more face to face because practically you need to be hands on, you know, to get the touch. So it's a juggle, but you know, we're very passionate about what we do. And I won't say it's very financially beneficial for us, but we love doing what we're doing, you
Good.
know, and it's important because, you know, as we said, we've been in the industry a very long time, and experiential learning, you know, teaching that is important, that people don't have to make the errors we made. Things have evolved and changed, you know, keeping up with the health and safety and things like that. So, you know, we're as a support, it's almost like we're gurus supporting these people because, you know, it'd be a shame all the knowledge and experience we've had if we can't share that. You know, that's where the community aspect comes in, and that's really important. You know, and it's enjoyable for us. We love it. It's great when the penny actually drops and someone goes, "Oh, I get it now." And it's like, yay. And you know what's so funny, because it can be quite taboo. It's like, oh gosh, is this something, you know, rubbing up and all this? And you're like, hello, no, this is a very professional business that we're involved in because we are keen. That's a priority to make sure the standards are up to date. You know, it's
Yes.
not working under the radar. We're
Yes.
literally bringing people on par, upskill to make sure that they're professional and that people take them serious, you know? And that's really important to us because we've had a long journey trying to maintain that. And, you know, we've had our battles along the way, trust me. But, you know, now I think people, you know, there's more people now rushing to get treatments because they know the true value, because it doesn't suppress, you're getting to the root core of what the issues are. And
Yeah.
that's valuable, as you know, you're in the same business. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's all about medicine in whichever format you give that's
Yes.
going to bring the benefits, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you see the future? How do you see this playing out as throughout the whole Caribbean? I mean, you now touched a little bit of a few of the islands, but sounds like you're going to spread your wings.
Well, we've just taken on, actually this year we've got a sports massage teacher, which is wonderful. So happy. It's a small group, but we've got lots of other present students who are very interested. I think once you do massage, most people want to do reflexology, aromatherapy, and it's just that journey, as we know. It's just a cycle of, you know, because it's just like one thing leads to the other.
Stacking,
Um,
stacking
so,
skills.
but the sports massage is, yes, exactly. It's like this. I'm always saying it's a toolbox, and you
Yeah,
just add into it because you never know which tool you need to use. And it's
exactly.
not, it doesn't mean to say, you know, you can read a book and it's
Yeah.
got so much benefit. It might not be in a modality like massage, it might be in something like business. You know,
Yes.
all these things are skills. And I find it really interesting because with students, I always say to them, write down your skill sets. You know, this is one of the first things that we ask students to do, and they go, I don't have any. And we're like, what? Of course you have. And then as you start talking to them and you go, yeah, that's one, jot it down. And when they finish, they've got a page of skills that they didn't even realize that
That
they
they,
had,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
awesome.
and then it's,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's lovely. Do you know what I mean? So, and then the other thing is we need teachers. We keep
Yes.
asking, you know, other established therapists. It's like, hello, would you like to teach? And that's where we're, you know, because we actually do a train the trainers course
Right.
internationally so that they can do that. And it's not a massive long process. And then they do a little shadow teaching, get to know the school, and participate, and then off they go. They can run the course, you know. So
Yeah.
yes, that's what we're asking for right now, teachers, because obviously we can't be in several different places at the
Places
same
at one.
time,
Of
you
course.
know?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
advice would you
So
give to those aspiring kind of practitioners, those people that now hearing this podcast for the first time, they're like, where do I find you? Wow, I want to be part of this.
right. Well, we have a website. We're on Instagram, Facebook. So it's the Caribbean School of Holistic Therapies. There's myself and Barbara. My number is 823-1003. That's Maxine Harry. So it's 823-1003. But you can find us. It's always up on Instagram when we're doing workshops and what have you. We're now just going through the final stages. Students take the Think Tree, the UK 50/50 online and in class. Their exams is in 3 weeks' time. And then we'll start another course. And then the 9 months course, they have their exams in July. So after that, we'll then be taking setting up a new enrollment. So, people can actually call, they can look at the website, see what we're offering. And if they need to, we can have a meeting or they can come in and have a look at the school. That's not a problem at all. Yeah. We're happy to get new faces. In fact, today I was teaching reflexology students and we brought in some case studies. Barbara brought in some people from the community, some other students that have already graduated, and they offered their feet, which was
Yes, yes,
great.
yes.
And some of those people were like, "Whoa, never realized what reflexology entailed." They was like surprised,
Right, right.
really, really surprised in the outcome because people think, oh, you're just pressing the feet. I said, actually, when people are training, they're studying the anatomy and physiology. And then you have to like almost track back to find the cause of what's going on. And when the students actually reeling off information of their findings and then what the benefits are and the aftercare, they're very surprised. Trust me, they're like, "Whoa, never realized there was so much involved." And I
Yeah,
said, yeah, it's a profession. So we had some great interest today and some very interesting case studies, actually. Because we always get the usual, say, diabetes and stroke and heart issues and those kind of things that seem predominant in the Caribbean, especially Barbados. So
yeah,
ideally, what we'd like to do is link with places like the Heart and Stroke Foundation, the Cancer Society, and things like that. I think that's a mission going forward with the school. Drug rehabilitation, AA, and all of those, there'd be super, super benefits. Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes there's
Oh,
quite a lot
sure.
of protocol, and it's
Right.
trying to find the way through to get through the right channel, as it were. But yeah, there's things that we've done before in the past, and we do the students go to the Heart Foundation to do their CPR and first aid. So they all have to do that for the course. So we're
Right.
already linked with them. We utilize other places within the course syllabus.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So tell me what's new, what's exciting, what are you up to privately, professionally? Is there anything going on?
Well, I mean, I've been going a long time. I have my clinic on the West Coast. I'm inside a chiropractitioner's office, but
Right,
I do have my regulars and I reach out. I don't do as much in the hotel industry as I used to do. I
right.
just find sometimes tourists, the commitment can be a bit scatty. You've booked them in, and then the next minute they're on a catamaran, and you're like, hello, I'm here waiting for you in my office, but
Yeah,
you get it, you get it. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? And then it can be very seasonal. So obviously we're in full swing right now because of the tourist season. And then you get the snowbirds that come in for several months up until April.
right.
They've got the houses here. And then you'll find as that the tourist season peters off, you'll get a lot of the retail shops, they're all exhausted. So, you know, they're all coming for treatments then because they're like, oh my gosh, we've been run off our feet, as we hope for the
Yeah.
season, because we need it,
Yeah.
right? For the
Yes, for sure.
country. You know, so it's a bit like that, you know.
Right.
And then we get younger people when the time for exams, they get a
Yeah.
bit stressed out. So, you know, we can make aromatherapy blends for them to help them relax and to think and have
Yes.
a clarity, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, so it all depends, you know. And then you've got your locals who are really faithful, you know. I've been very blessed. I've got clients for many years. I mean, I've lived here, as I said, 32 years. So
Yeah.
I haven't really done masses of advertising per se, but I will say that recently, for me, I've always been interested in frequencies and sound healing because I do lots of modalities like massage, cranial sacral work, myofascial release,
Right.
aromatherapy, reflexology, pre and postnatal, energy work with crystal healing and colors, Reiki, and it goes on and on and on because you're on
Yeah.
that journey. But, you
Right.
know, recently I did my Gong Master training. Oh my God, I loved it. It was absolutely amazing.
Yes. Tell me
So
more about that.
yeah, I went to well, I did my research and I found the Gong Master training in the UK, which was great because they only come there once a year to do the master training, which was a 12-day program from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. And it was really full on. And there were 52 people from all around the world all on this same journey, and it was absolutely powerful, I have to say. And I learned so much about myself and about others, and still in touch. We have a group, WhatsApp group, and it's really supportive in all kinds of things of like which gong to buy and did anyone have a case study like this, and sending love if anyone needs it and that kind of thing. But since I got back, it was a process to get my biggie gong in, my
Right.
universal gong, because it was made in Germany with special metals, and I saved for a long time to do the course and to actually buy the gong, and to eventually get it through customs, and the whole transportation from Germany was challenging, but it got through. So very thankful. And now I'm offering gong bathing or immersions, whatever you'd like to call it, meditation, sound therapy, healing. Welbeck's in St. James, that's in Derricks. That's near, well, I don't know if you know Welbeck's Wellness. It's a new wellness store.
Yeah.
Right, very close to the Cliff Restaurants, if anyone knows where that is on the west.
So
So it's
me
a
the
great
benefit.
building because upstairs.
Tell me the benefits.
Sorry?
Tell me the benefits for the sound
Well,
therapy.
right. Well, there I just mainly do the sound therapy, where I do other events which involves like mantras and mudras and some yoga, collaborating with other people. But at Welbeck's, with that one, it's more about the sound, where you just come in, you lay down, you take that hour for yourself. Yeah, because self-love is very important. You can't love others if you don't love yourself. We know that one.
Yeah.
And it's a time for reflection. And this month being a so-called month of love, yeah. You know, this Saturday, 9 till 10 at Welbeck's, I'm offering, you know, that time for self-reflection. So with the gong and the other instruments that I play, anything from a rain stick, an ocean drum, I have a beautiful crystal harp that's made out of clear quartz crystal. It's very celestial, very high. It resonates with the earth, with the sound of Om, because the first word was sound. And we know word sound power is very important. So
Right.
the frequencies resonate with the body. So as we know, most people should be at least 85% fluid waters, because every system in the body has a fluid, whether it's blood, it's lymphatic fluids, synovial fluids around joints, etc., etc. You know, these are areas that do manifest disease. And so if we use sound therapy that resonates through water fluids, it can actually reach in helping to change the structure of on a cellular level, should I say. So different instruments has a frequency. So, you know, it could be an E, an F. Anyone who's into music will probably know all of that. And then it has a frequency that resonates with us. So, for example, if we laugh a lot, like laughing yoga, for example, smile, use essential oils like a high, that resonate at high vibrancy, such as, say, pure rose, you
Yes.
know, that will uplift the body. So if you're in a good spirit and your frequency starts lifting, you will generate good frequency. And it's
Yes.
a ripple effect, because if I smile at you and you smile back at me, and then someone else starts laughing, you know, it gets infectious in a room. Everybody just cracks up for no reason. So
Yes.
it's that kind of thing. It's a ripple effect. And I find the beauty in the gong baths that I've done so far, because it can range from 3 people to 18 people. It depends. Every week changes. There's
Right.
always a newbie to gong. They have no idea what to
Right.
expect. They just see it and say, let me go and experience it.
Right.
Others come because they've got issues, you know, others need a timeout and what have you. And it's interesting, the feedback. I love it. You know, I've now decided, I think I'd love to do like a book with the feedback from the gong experience, because it's just so interesting. You know, a lot of my clients who actually come that, you know, I've worked with them for many years. And I said, look, let's try this and let's see if this actually puts another dimension onto what we're doing, you know, because it's about, you know, a lot of people expect you to heal them, you know, and we try our best. Some it could be palliative, so it's end of care,
Right.
you know, just to make that tradition more peaceful. You know, and then there's, you know, so people come for all kinds of reasons. So it's mind, body, spirit, soul, you know,
Yes.
because you can't divide, you know, that's what we are. And some people, when they are emotionally struggling, it manifests physically. And, you know, so we really need to tune in from all aspects. Yeah. So as you asked me, what am I up to new? That's what I'm doing. My name is Akasha. Akasha is all the 5 elements. That's inspiration with fire, water, earth, the ether, etc., etc. And we can't survive without those elements. So, you know, it's something sometimes you can touch to heal, and other times we say less is more. You don't need to touch. It can be like Reiki or sound on a different wavelength, you know. So yeah, I'm loving the journey, and it's really nice to see really positive feedback. Yeah.
It's a wonderful journey that you're on. I'm loving every minute of everything you're
Oh,
saying.
thanks.
And I wanted to ask you, you mentioned it earlier, but now that we're on frequency, you talked about clothes and frequency, cloth and frequency. So I am assuming
Right.
cotton, linen,
Yeah.
certain things have really
Correct.
high frequency because it can be spandex and polyester. So tell me a little bit about that stuff.
Right, right. Well, obviously, in my textile history, for me, because I really deal with nature, the natural elements around me. You know, my training was very hands-on. You know, I used to actually go and cut the linen, the grasses, and then create the yarn, And the same with the sheep. I used to work for the International Wool Secretariat, which is the pure new wool mark, with offloading the abundance of fleece, as it were,
Right.
from Australia and New Zealand. Very diverse careers here, but it's come back round, you know. So natural fibers, obviously how they're grown, where they're grown, is very similar to like aromatherapy oils, how they're harvested, and their environment that they're actually grown, and the type of method that's used to collect the oils and diffusion, or whichever method to actually get the oil, the essential oil, should I say, even down to the base oils, you know.
Right.
It's really important where you source them, whether they're more organic or natural, where's the environment that they're from. So if you use natural fibers, the frequency is much higher. Yeah, because synthetics have been processed. So it's like food, it's the same aspect, it's a medicine. So if we
Right.
dress, everyone always asks me, why are you dressed in white? You're always wearing linens. So I think I've got the reputation of the white lady in white, always dressed in white with her hair tied.
Right.
You know, because for me, natural fibers, it's more comfortable, the frequency that they're on. You know, I've got an app actually on my phone that I use sometimes, not always, you know, to test frequencies of different things around me. So it could be an instrument to see what sound it is, or it can be a cloth or a plant or anything like that, just to see. Nowadays, you see on Instagram where they're tapping into mushrooms and it becomes like an orchestra. Well, that's the same frequencies that we're picking up with plants, you know. So it's like an animal, you know. If you abuse an animal, you know, it's gonna hold on to that frequency. It's like
Yeah.
water, you know. If you say, oh, this water's amazing, I love the water, and it's a blessing, it's a cleansing ritual, you know, give thanks for the water because without it we can't survive. The frequency is lifted. So
Yes.
when we intake
Dr.
that water,
Emoto. Dr. Emoto.
right,
Yes,
exactly,
yes, yes.
exactly. So, you know, and that's how we are, you know, we're like a lotus flower. And so if someone talks to us in a nice tone, in beautiful words, we blossom. And if
Yeah.
they shout at us and get on bad,
Yeah.
you know, we close off,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and then we're not our true potential, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we try to aim in all dimensions
To the highest
of the
level.
healing process. Exactly,
So
exactly.
you're
And
telling me that linen is at the highest frequency?
yeah, you've got linens and cottons. Silk's a funny thing. Silk is natural, but it's the process of silk, even though it's got a good frequency. The
Right.
silkworms, you know, it's an interesting aspect. And obviously there's always a learning curve. So every day we learn something new.
Right.
Um, but you know, I think it's like the intentions and anything we do, regardless of what it is, what we consume, what we buy, you know, how we address things, etc., etc. It's the intention. So, you
Yes.
know, and that brings us back to, you know, even with the school, I say to the students, our philosophy is that it's your intention. So, you know, before you start a treatment, it's like, what am I doing for this person today? My intention is to
Yes.
do this for this person. It's good intention.
Right.
You know, you and being prepared for it. You know, you don't go in there and you're exhausted. As you said, you got to love yourself to be able to love others. So, you know, you have to be prepared. So
Yeah.
the whole process of it is a discipline. Your life should be in a discipline. And
Yeah.
we're humans and get into habitual regimes which are not always beneficial. And as we say, to shift karma, if you can do it daily and just make one little change that's a benefit for you, it's a ripple effect for others, you know.
Of course, of course. I love finding that routine, stacking those habits, and moving it forward. That's usually how I try to put it,
Exactly. Well,
to get people to move this forward.
exactly. Yes. I mean, you're in the same line of business, so that's our mission. That's why we're here, right?
Yes, for sure. So this has been an amazing journey. It has been amazing to talk to you. And it's wonderful to
Oh,
get
thank
all
you.
caught up on what's been going on with you. Thank you so much.
Yes, I know. Oh, thank you too. It was an honor. Anytime, if anyone's interested to come and look at the school, email us, give us a phone call. If we don't answer straight away, leave all your information because we both have our own clinic. So, it's a juggle, but we will get back to you.
Yeah,
You can always give us a nudge here and there,
yes,
and what have you. But, we're very open and would welcome you with our warmth, as it were. And yeah, blessings on blessings.
yes, for
Yeah.
sure. Thank you so much
Yes.
for your time. Thank you.
No, thank you. Namaste. Love to everyone and have a good night. Yeah.
Good night.
I've got the other hand with my phone, so it's all
Yeah,
one-handed.
that's okay.
But the
Uh,
intention's there, right?
yes, for sure. All right, take
Yeah.
care.
Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.